Hi, this is Cecelia from Tarot by Cecelia, and this is your weekly tarot guidance for the week of December 7th through the 13th of 2015. Now, it's hard to believe that we've come this far already, but this month, this month holds some better days, I think. And this week overall has a very positive feeling to it. There are, for so many of you, holidays coming up. It is the season. No matter where you are in the world, there's probably something to celebrate this time of year. So, what do I see here for this week? Wow. I almost am afraid to say it because I'm afraid people will take it all wrong. But there is this form of emotional renewal, okay? And not necessarily a relationship with another. It could even be just with your own self, all right? Which is not a bad thing. After all the losses that have been incurred in the last few years, and especially the last 9 to 10 months, that feeling of success over what was lost, like finally getting somewhere with something, okay? Whatever your issue may be. And, really start to assemble your information and look communications over, make sure that you're making the right choices. You see, finally, there are some delays that are gone. This is a good thing. Oh my goodness, it's taken so long to get here. It's just like that thing. Remember how I was talking about this in the past about getting your foot in the door, but you couldn't get in the door because it was like the universe had a hold of your other ankle, your other foot, and kept holding you back and dragging you back. So you weren't going backward, but you just kept feeling like you weren't going forward. There is finally a change this week, a very positive change indeed. Forward movement, travel, adventure. I'm really liking this a lot. There is, I want to call it a little gift from the universe. Now start taking your renewed self, all right, and dispensing your time and your funds very carefully, because you are in this for the long haul. Remember that. But there is a sense of a new beginning this week. Something is going on that really feels good, and it pushes away that feeling of loss, all right, because it's like, how can I put it? It's like that feeling of loss has been calling you. Like, as much as you try to go forward, it just feels like it'd be like calling your name, trying to, trying to trick you into turning around and going back. Don't go back. Only go forward. There is so much more waiting for you. And that's it. Just turn your back on it and be ready for the new opportunities that are coming. Now, there's also a new moon, okay, on the 11th, which is in Sagittarius. Okay. It's an interesting time. Like right around the moon. The moon brings new things. And I think you're going to see some opportunities for change coming in. That trying to open doors. Intuitively, which doors you should be trying to open now. Do you? Hopefully you've learned the lessons and you have the message. And I think that that's important. But what I'm seeing here also is a lot of healing that can be taking place this week. There is just so much going on. There have been a lot of sacrifices that many of you have made with regard to family. And, there is this needing to recover. Okay, the last, 12, 13, 14, 15, the last 3-4 years, all right? And maybe you're finally at that place, where you feel like you can get together with the family and things feel better. And, that recovery that's needed. There's a rebirth that's going on. And you have to stop letting yourself be haunted. It's there. It's like it's always there, overshadowing everything. But don't let it, because your life has really changed. It's flipped all the way around. So it's difficult in a way to see this, but I think this time of year, especially now, you're seeing more people around you. All right, the reasons to celebrate. Some of them are the natural ones that go with the holidays. Others are with your accomplishments, okay? And there is this stronger sense of reliability and stability and feeling secure. So I like this a lot. It gives you a little more of a carefree feeling, and you're ready to just finally, I want to say, move forward from the past. It's as though this week something finally gives that you have been waiting to take care of, something you've been waiting to do, and you finally find the way to do it. That's what I said. It brings you an emotional renewal, and it's just a really good feeling. I like this a lot. Now, change still is a very slow process, all right? Even though I see like that little bit of speeding up in there, towards the beginning of the week where the delays are going, and you're thinking, okay, So stress, wow. Celebrations, because things are less stressful. What you have accomplished, it's difficult to put into words. Everyone has a different story, and it is just hard to mouth those words to you. But I think each of you as individuals know what it is that you've overcome. Because some days, if you tried to talk to people about it, it probably sounded silly, to you, to others, when you would say, why can't I do this? What I want to do sounds so simple. Why is it not happening? Something has changed. Something in life has suddenly given way to movement, where even though you've had all this change take place in the last couple months, I think the universe has finally let go of your other ankle, and it's going to let you begin to go forward and repair, to work on, see, this is like in stages, all right, because obviously you can't fix the things that have been wrong all in a day, or in the blink of an eye. So, steady progress from this point forward. And keep in mind, that, by this time next month, we'll be in a Mercury retrograde. So while you're working on things this week and you feel that sense of going forward, if you have a good sense of how you are with a Mercury retrograde, work on getting those things done, okay? The things that you would not want to be doing, all right? So if you have appliances to replace, phones to replace, anything, major purchase, work on those things. Now's the time. Take care of them. Don't overextend, with the money that you do have, because you're going to need it. But definitely rejoice in the fact that you are now in a better position to do things. I really, really like this. And I do see more people here, okay? And one of the things that I want to make mention of is nurturing, okay? Nurturing others. I think with less stress in your life now, and some things, working a little more in your favor than they were, that now is the time, to work with others. Not everyone is in the same position you are. Some people are, working through some harder times. So keep that in mind, because unconditional love for humanity, I think I've mentioned it all over the place within the past week or so. It is so important. But I do think that before the moon, you're going to see that feeling change. Those delays are gone. So what do you do when you have a new moon? Yeah, you have new beginnings. You really, I think you finally feel like this week that the new beginnings that you've known you've had finally feel like you can do something about them. That may not make sense to everyone, but I think it should make sense to most of you, because there's been this blindly going forward and not knowing. And will you still be that way? Yes, I think so. Now I'm going to put down some more cards here, because there is just so much. Oh, yeah. Wishes, wishes. And I think less sadness. Oh, getting to better places. I'm telling you, this is an emotional week. All right, which reminds me, I say this as frequently as I can to remind everyone. All right, new moon, full moon. Watch what you say to people, okay? Be mindful of how you speak to others. Not everyone has a positive day every day, and everyone always has a little something going on that's bothering them. So, do your part. If something is bothering you, don't take it out on anyone else, especially your loved ones. That's one of the most dreaded messages that I can receive in my inbox, is that you have a relationship that you need to fix because something was wrong and you said something. And I think I'm going to repeat this every time there's a new moon or a full moon until I stop receiving those messages, because it's patterns and we all have them. So if we recognize them and we do our best to get along on those days, a couple days before, a couple days after, day of, that type of thing, indeed, you'll make it much further. Now, also this week, I see that there's a path choice. I think this comes from this whole emotional renewal that comes at the beginning of the week. Now, I can't put this into words, all right, when I say emotional renewal, but I really think it's with your own self, like finally feeling good about what you've accomplished. So the fact that a path opens up and you have a wish, wow, I mean, there's a lot there. It's like finally it's your choice, okay? When the universe lets go of your ankle and lets you pick up a little speed, you're just feeling all giddy and light. It's not a bad feeling at all. But just be mindful that this is still a long journey. I feel as though the mode that you're in right now, and I know this is, don't take it wrong, it doesn't have to do with every issue, but I feel that the mode that you're in now is one that lasts a couple of years, and that you need to be mindful of things that you set in place for yourself now. So if you're doing new budgets regarding finances and things like that, they're going to be in place for a long, long time. Just remember that, okay? You're going to lead your life differently than you did before, but you're definitely going forward. And you're not going back to that old place that haunted you for the last few years. It tries to creep in, but don't let it. You have new beginnings. And this moon is there to bring you, I think, a little bit of closure, a little closer to the closure. Let's put it that way. Not quite there. I almost feel as though March brings the necessary closure on the past. That's pretty far off, but it's coming. I just keep that in mind. Every day now is a step forward in the right direction that's going to lead you to something really much, much better by the time you get to June. So just know that you're going to be there and that you're definitely moving on, moving forward, and, enjoy that Sagittarius energy and have some fun, all right? Some honest to goodness fun in your celebrations, especially with the young people. I see a lot of young people here, and that's important. You have to remember that this time of year, while we all have many reasons for celebrating holidays, that the wonderment and the joy that young people can bring to your life through their wonderment and the awe that they have for things. Just don't forget the reason for the season, and remember to tell them all of the stories so that they understand. Very much a good week. I don't see anything bad here. I see where the past would like to creep in, but I think you're strong enough at this point not to let it. There really is a much better feeling. Wow. So the things that you tried to start in June, you're going to feel a little more like you're breaking free. You were never really totally bound to it. It's just you couldn't seem to leave the situation. This is good. This is really good. I like this a lot. So go forth and spread goodwill. And I want to thank you all for listening, and I'll see you here again next week. Have a great week.